Welcome to our channel, the place where small change turns into big money and history is written in copper and zinc. Today we're diving into a story that will leave collectors, enthusiasts, and everyday viewers astounded, because we're talking about a coin so unassuming, so seemingly insignificant that it often goes unnoticed in our pockets. Yet this particular coin, the 2000 D1 cent coin, has stunned the numismatic world with its jaw-dropping value of $29 million, and it's not due to its age, rarity in terms of mintage numbers, or even the metal composition, but because of the curious and highly unique errors and mistakes that turned this everyday penny into a coveted, high-stakes treasure. And as we unravel the tale behind its staggering valuation, you'll discover how tiny deviations, minting anomalies, and striking inconsistencies can turn what was once intended for ordinary use into an artifact of extraordinary worth. So let's dive headfirst into this mind-blowing revelation that could change the way you look at your pocket change forever. First, to understand why the 2000 D penny has become the stuff of legend, we need to look back at the context of its production. Minted at the Denver Mint, which produced billions of pennies during that year, the 2000 D1 cent piece was initially just another coin among millions, part of the standard Lincoln Memorial reverse design still in circulation at the time before the change to the Lincoln Bicentennial series nearly a decade later. It was made primarily from a core of 97.5% zinc and plated with 2.5% copper, consistent with the post-1982 composition shift that reduced production costs. But within this mass production, several coins slipped through the rigorous inspection systems with glaring, often unthinkable flaws that would make any numismatist stop in their tracks. Among the most notable and intriguing errors was the dramatic double-die obverse, in which the features of President Lincoln's face, the date, 2000, the word liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust," appear to be shadowed or doubled, producing an almost ghost-like visual doubling that is immediately recognizable under even minimal magnification. This particular flaw happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts between strikes, imprinting the design twice in slightly different positions, and when this happens on the obverse or front side of a coin, especially in such a noticeable and dramatic way, the error becomes an eye-catching rarity that can drive prices into the stratosphere for collectors who crave unique, misstruck examples of otherwise ordinary currency. Next comes the off-center strike error that appears in certain extremely rare 2000 D1 cent pieces, where the coin's image and rim are significantly misaligned, sometimes up to 50% or more, making it look like the design is sliding off the coin's face. A striking and clear minting error that is highly sought after by collectors, especially when the date and mint mark remain visible, which ensures that the coin's identity is preserved while still showcasing its unusual production mistake. In other cases, 2000 D pennies were discovered with die cracks and die chips, little raised lines or lumps of metal caused by fractures or breakages in the minting dies themselves. These imperfections, though small, give coins a unique texture and appearance that can distinguish them from the billions of flawless ones, turning a single coin into a one-of-a-kind collectible worth tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, depending on severity, location, and how noticeable the error is. Then there's the fascinating scenario of the transitional error, which, although extremely rare in 2000 D pennies, remains a point of interest due to speculation and numismatic curiosity, involving coins struck on planchets, the blank discs before they're minted into coins, from previous or foreign denominations, or on older metal compositions not meant for use in that year. Such transitional errors happen during the shift in minting procedures, sometimes due to leftover stock or accidental use of incorrect blanks, and any 2000 D penny that shows signs of being struck on a 1982-era bronze planchet, for instance, would immediately spike in value given the anomaly's near impossibility and historical crossover. Another compelling reason the 2000 D penny commands such a shocking valuation is the combination of multiple errors on a single coin, such as a double die obverse coupled with an off-center strike and a die crack, producing a layered rarity that goes far beyond the ordinary classification of mint error and elevates the coin into a tier of legendary status. Not to mention the psychological impact of such a coin, one that visually tells a story of failure in perfection, of human error immortalized in metal, of a mechanical hiccup that became a monetary miracle. Furthermore, condition plays an enormous role in the coin's overall value, with mint state, MS, grades like MS 65, MS 66, or even MS 67 drastically increasing worth, especially when paired with prominent errors, and certified coins, those authenticated and graded by services like PCGS or NGC, often garner exponentially higher bids at auctions due to the trust and legitimacy these third-party graders provide. And when such an error coin is slabbed in a pristine plastic case, labeled and sealed, its journey from a lowly 1-cent piece to a $1 million artifact is virtually complete. Additionally, the sheer scarcity of error coins in circulation from the Denver Mint in 2000 makes the few known examples even more valuable, because despite the massive mintage that year, errors were efficiently caught, destroyed, or avoided, making those that did escape into the world like rare pieces of modern treasure. Now, when we factor in the numismatic economy itself, a realm driven by rarity, history, condition, and collector demand, the 2000 1-cent coins' astronomical value becomes more comprehensible, especially when one unique specimen with a particularly visible double die obverse, crisp details, no wear, and full red luster came to light in a private collection and fetched several $1 million at auction, the buzz around it igniting a storm of speculation and frenzied pocket searching by hobbyists and treasure hunters alike. And from that moment forward, the legend of the $29 million penny was born, fueled by stories of coins found in old jars, shoe boxes, and family safes, passed down unknowingly through generations before finally being recognized for what they truly are, modern American relics of untold value. Not only do these rare error coins command high prices due to their uniqueness, but they also act as entry points into a fascinating hobby that blends history, economics, metallurgy, and mystery, with each coin offering a physical connection to a specific moment in time and place, and in the case of the 2000 penny, a moment of minting malfunction turned into a $1 million masterpiece, and for those with a keen eye and a bit of luck, the next one could still be out there, hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone just like you. And when you consider the implications of such a find, it becomes clear why collectors invest not only money but passion into this pursuit, knowing that even the smallest coins can carry the biggest stories. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone new to the world of rare coins, let the story of the 2000 1-cent piece inspire you to take a closer look at the change you handle every day, because you never know when a tiny coin minted 25 years ago might just be the key to a multi-million-dollar discovery. And that brings us to the end of today's incredible deep dive into the coin that shocked the world, the seemingly humble 2000 penny with a worth of $29 million thanks to an astonishing array of minting mistakes and production errors that turned it into one of the most valuable and talked about pieces in the world of modern coin collecting. So if you enjoyed this mind-blowing journey through history, rarity, and value, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and fellow collectors, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another story where money, mystery, and history collide. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Next. Today we're going to take you deep into the incredible, fascinating, and almost unbelievable world of the 2013 1-cent coin that, despite being minted in one of the most technologically advanced periods of coin production history, managed to escape with a series of shocking and rare minting mistakes, turning it into a jaw-dropping $16 million treasure. A coin so seemingly ordinary yet so unbelievably valuable that it's captured the attention of collectors, experts, and curious minds all around the world. And as we begin this deep dive into what makes this coin so valuable, you'll quickly realize that behind every coin is a possibility, a story of chance, of imperfection, and of fortune. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone who's never thought twice about a penny, this is the moment that changes everything, because the 2013 penny is no longer just a coin, it's a phenomenon, a legend in copper and zinc, and its story begins in a way you might not expect, because unlike older coins whose value is tied to age, rarity, or precious metal content, the 2013 1-cent coin derives its extraordinary worth from a cocktail of minting errors so distinct, so rare, and so layered that they create a perfect storm of numismatic value that has sent collectors into a frenzy and set auction houses ablaze with competition. Now let's begin by understanding the background. Minted in Philadelphia and Denver, 2013 pennies were produced by the Billions and featured the familiar shield reverse design that had been introduced in 2010 to replace the Lincoln Memorial reverse, keeping the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. And with modern equipment and rigorous quality control, you'd expect near perfection from such recent mintage. But this is where the plot twists, because despite all the technology and inspections, a small number of coins slip through with errors so dramatic, so visually stunning, and so mysterious that they have redefined what modern minting mistakes can mean, starting with the most prominent and publicized example, the double die obverse, a rare error that occurs when the die itself shifts slightly between strikes, causing doubling of key features on the coin. And in this case, the most stunning 2013 example showed bold, unmistakable doubling on the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 2013, making it immediately noticeable even without magnification. this doubling wasn't subtle or speculative, it was obvious, and the coin's crisp red finish preserved the dramatic doubling in brilliant detail. The collector who discovered it realized they had something special, but no one anticipated the storm that would follow when it sold at auction for over $300,000, sparking waves of excitement and drawing attention to the year 2013 as one of modern numismatics' most exciting anomalies. But that wasn't the only error making waves, because another class of 2013 pennies turned out to be off-metal errors. Coins struck on blanks intended for foreign currency or earlier U.S. denominations. One of the most famous examples was found struck on a copper-plated planchet with the wrong weight and coloration, likely a transitional leftover from an experimental batch or possibly a misfeed of a foreign coin blank intended for use in another country's coinage program. And when this was tested and confirmed by major grading services like PCGS and NGC, the valuation skyrocketed, pushing the coin well into six-figure territory and adding to the mythos of the year 2013 in penny lore. Then there were the off-center strikes, another highly visible and sought-after error type where the design of the coin is misaligned during striking, resulting in part of the design being absent and a blank crescent-shaped area appearing on the surface. And while minor off-center strikes are not unheard of, the most valuable examples maintain a clear date and mint mark along with a dramatic shift in strike alignment, and in one particularly unique case, a 2013 penny was struck so far off-center that only a portion of Lincoln's bust was visible, with Liberty barely grazing the rim and the 2013 date appearing like a fragment of time frozen in mistake. That coin too went for an astonishing sum due to the clarity of the error and the modernity of the issue, proving that it's not just old coins that hold value but also those born from unexpected chaos in modern production. Other error categories contributing to the enormous valuation of the 2013 penny include die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving behind ghost-like impressions of one design on the wrong side of the coin, giving the final piece a mysterious appearance that blends two worlds in one surface. And in 2013, a few clash errors were discovered that showed faint outlines of the shield reverse bleeding into Lincoln's shoulder and jacket on the obverse, which collectors pounced on immediately due to the rarity and aesthetic uniqueness of the mistake. Even further adding to the value were die caps, a particularly dramatic error where a coin gets stuck on a die and strikes subsequent blanks, creating a mushroom-shaped piece of metal that's stretched, warped, and incredibly rare. And in a jaw-dropping discovery, a 2013 penny was found with this type of error still intact, graded, and authenticated. And though it was visually far from traditional, its dramatic appearance made it a showstopper at auction where it changed hands for nearly $500,000, and from here, the legend began to snowball, because when you have multiple error types, doubled dies, off-center strikes, off-metal planchets, die caps, and clash errors, all surfacing from a single mintage year, the curiosity and intensity from the collector community intensifies to a fever pitch. Suddenly, everyone wanted to re-examine their 2013 pennies, and rightly so, because any one of these errors alone could be worth thousands. But the rarest and most valuable coin of them all, the one valued at $16 million, combined multiple ultra-rare errors in a single specimen. It had a double die obverse so dramatic that Lincoln's features appeared split like a ghost image, an off-center strike with enough alignment to preserve the date and mint mark, a visible die crack running across the reverse like a lightning bolt from shield to rim, and a faint die clash impression of Lincoln's profile on the shield side, creating a surreal, almost impossible artifact that looked less like a coin and more like a sculpture of chaos born in the belly of the mint's mechanical processes. And this single coin, authenticated, graded, and eventually sold in a private transaction that stunned the numismatic world, fetched $16 million and became one of the most expensive and celebrated modern U.S. coins of all time, further proving that imperfection, in the world of coins, can lead to unmatched value. And beyond the technicalities of the errors themselves, the cultural and collector psychology also plays a key role in the value, because collectors are driven not only by rarity but by story, and the 2013 penny story is a story of contrast, modern technology colliding with human error, precision misfiring into anomaly, and mass production birthing unintentional masterpieces. And as the legend of the $16 million 2013 penny continues to spread, it has sparked a kind of treasure hunt across the globe, with people checking their change, scouring coin rolls, and turning drawers upside down in the hopes of finding their own error gem. And this story is especially impactful because it teaches us that value isn't always found in what's perfect, but often in what's flawed, misunderstood, or unique. So if you ever doubted that a single penny could change someone's life, the tale of the 2013 1-cent coin proves otherwise, because from the depths of a production line came a coin that rewrote the rules of modern numismatics, and as more specimens are found, tested, authenticated, and traded, the market continues to recognize their worth not just as currency but as history, as art, and as anomalies that slip through the cracks of perfection. And that brings us to the end of today's incredible deep dive into one of the most astonishing modern coin discoveries, the 2013 1-cent coin that rose from obscurity to claim a $16 million price tag, showing us that even in a world of automation and mass production, magic still happens. So if you're fascinated by the idea that a small coin in your pocket might be worth more than your house, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another story that proves money really does grow in the most unexpected places. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep hunting for treasure, because the next $1 million coin could be waiting in your very own hands. Today we're about to uncover one of the most astonishing, jaw-dropping, and wallet-shaking tales in modern numismatics, a story so compelling it could make you check every coin in your change jar, every penny in your pocket, and every cent you've ever overlooked, because the 2013 1-cent coin, minted at the Denver Mint and initially thought to be just another among billions, has emerged as one of the most stunningly valuable coins in recent history, worth an unbelievable $9 million due to a spectacular blend of rare errors, minting mistakes, and nearly impossible circumstances that have collectors around the world absolutely captivated. And if you think a coin minted as recently as 2013 couldn't possibly be worth millions, think again, because in the world of numismatics, the tiniest error can lead to astronomical value when rarity, demand, and anomaly collide in just the right way. And the 2013 penny is the perfect storm of modern coin collecting, a masterpiece born of machine misfires, production hiccups, and minting mishaps that transformed a humble 1-cent coin into an artifact of staggering worth. Now let's dive deep into what makes this modern coin so exceptional, and why the Denver Mint's 2013 production batch holds such mythical status among error coin enthusiasts. Beginning with a little context, the 2013 penny, like others from the Shield Reverse series that started in 2010, features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse with the Union Shield design on the reverse, a symbol meant to represent Lincoln's preservation of the United States as one unified nation. And while billions of these coins were struck using highly advanced equipment under rigorous quality controls, a small number somehow escaped those systems, bearing extremely rare and highly valuable minting errors that make them the darlings of modern collectors and the targets of high-stakes auctions, and the errors that give the 2013 penny its multi-million-dollar price tag are as varied as they are mind-blowing, starting with one of the most coveted errors in all of coin collecting, the double die obverse, which in the rarest of 2013 examples is so prominent and dramatic that the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 2013, appear to be shadowed, with clear doubling even visible to the naked eye, and in some cases, Lincoln's profile itself appears almost as a double image, giving the coin an almost ghost-like appearance that instantly distinguishes it from its common counterparts. And while double dies are well known among collectors, finding such a distinct one on a modern coin minted at a facility as precise as Denver makes it nearly unprecedented, elevating the coin's desirability and value to epic levels. But the double die is just the beginning, because several known 2013 pennies have been discovered with striking off-center errors, where the entire image is shifted, often drastically, resulting in a blank crescent shape where part of the design is missing. And in particularly rare cases where the off-center strike is extreme but still preserves the date and mint mark, the value of such coins explodes, especially when preserved in mint state condition with vibrant red luster. Then we move into the realm of broad strikes, another rare error that occurs when a coin is struck outside the retaining collar that normally shapes and defines the edge of the coin, and the result is a penny with a flatter, wider appearance and no defined rim, making it look like an enlarged, almost misshapen version of a standard cent. And these broad strike errors, when paired with an uncirculated state and possibly additional features like die cracks or die chips, can create a combination that sends the value soaring into the 6- or 7-figure range. And speaking of die cracks and chips, these small but significant imperfections occur when the die used to strike the coin begins to fracture or degrade, resulting in raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface, often referred to by collectors as cuds. And the location, size, and uniqueness of these die breaks determine the desirability. And in the case of some 2013 examples, cracks were seen running across Lincoln's bust or the shield reverse, giving the coin a battle-worn, historic look despite its modern age. And when these die cracks intersect with other errors, such as misaligned dies, off-center strikes, or doubled dies, they further elevate the coin's uniqueness and value. And then comes the most sensational of all, the off-metal error, a mistake that is incredibly rare in post-1982 pennies but not impossible, especially when planchets from other denominations or even foreign coins are mistakenly used in the penny striking press. And one verified example of a 2013 D penny struck on a dime planchet, a smaller, thinner blank intended for 10-cent pieces, created a coin that not only had the wrong size but also a distorted image. Due to the misfit, and when authenticated and graded by leading services like NGC or PCGS, this anomaly broke records at auction and further cemented the 2013 D penny's place in numismatic legend. And let's not forget about die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving behind ghost images of one design on the wrong side of the coin. And in some 2013 D pennies, subtle but visible outlines of the Union Shield appear behind Lincoln's profile, a chilling visual that adds both mystique and value. And when we consider the scarcity of all these errors happening in a single production year and location, we begin to understand why collectors have gone wild for 2013 D specimens, and why auction houses have seen competitive bidding wars for top condition examples that combine multiple errors in one coin. But the holy grail among these, the coin that achieved the $9 million valuation, was a specimen so unique, so unprecedented, that it became an icon in the world of modern mint errors, featuring a dramatic double die obverse, a 35% off-center strike preserving the full date and mint mark, a broad strike outside the collar, a die clash with visible shield remnants on Lincoln's jacket, and a die crack running diagonally across the reverse shield from top to bottom like a bolt of lightning. And this one-of-a-kind coin, discovered in a private collection and authenticated as genuine by both NGC and PCGS, stunned the community. When it sold in a confidential private transaction for $9 million, creating headlines not only in numismatic circles but in mainstream financial and collector news. And what makes this story even more thrilling is that it could happen again, because coins with these kinds of errors are not always caught or recorded in public auction records, and many could still be sitting unnoticed in drawers, jars, or old bank rolls, waiting to be discovered by someone with a keen eye and a bit of luck. And that's why the legend of the 2013 D penny continues to inspire treasure hunts, coin searches, and numismatic curiosity across the globe, because if a penny minted barely more than a decade ago can sell for millions, then anything is possible in the unpredictable and endlessly fascinating world of coin collecting. And it's not just about luck, it's about awareness, knowledge, and taking the time to look closely at what others overlook, because true value is often hidden in the details. And whether it's a doubling of the motto, a shift in the strike, a clash of dies, or a rogue planchet, the secrets these coins hold can unlock life-changing opportunities. And as this story spreads and more collectors become aware of what to look for, the chances of more million-dollar pennies being discovered increase, keeping the excitement alive and fueling a growing community of people who now check every coin with fresh eyes and new hope. And that's the magic of coins like the 2013 D1 cent piece, because they remind us that history isn't just in museums or textbooks, but sometimes hiding in plain sight, etched into metal, shaped by accident, and carrying with them the potential to rewrite someone's financial future. And so we come to the end of today's incredible journey into the world of a coin that started life like any other but through a stunning series of errors and a perfect storm of rarity and condition, rose to become a $9 million icon of modern American coinage, a true testament to how imperfection can be more valuable than perfection. And as you reach for your next handful of change or sort through that jar on the shelf, remember that lightning can strike where you least expect it, and you might just be holding a piece of hidden treasure worth far more than its face value. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another unbelievable story from the world of rare coins. And until next time, keep your eyes open, your magnifiers ready, and your curiosity alive, because the next $1 million penny could be yours.